So a few weeks ago, we posted a video here on Good Sport Reviews titled 10 relegated sides who haven't returned to the Premier League. And in that list, I mentioned how there were still plenty of teams across England and who didn't quite make the list. Well, if Hollywood's taught us anything, it's that sequels are always good. Terminator 2, Green Street 2, Fast and Furious 10. I mean, my God, can the series just die already? How much family can one man have? With that in mind, it's time we looked at some of the other teams held in high esteem who have faced relegation to the Championship and haven't been able to fight their way back up to the peak of English football. Welcome to Good Sport Reviews. My name is Lewis and this is 10 relegated sides who haven't returned to the Premier League Part 2. And if you want to see all the sequels here on the channel, please make sure to hit subscribe and let's see if we can get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Number 10, Oldham Athletic. A lot of you guys in the last video were very shocked that Oldham Athletic didn't make the cut, and it's absolutely fair. Oldham Athletic have fallen off further than any other former Premier League side and were one of the original sides in the top division, now playing in the National League and being the first and only team to ever do so. During the 2-year spell in the top flight, they finished 19th and 21st respectively, picking up results against the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea. However, despite it being the magic number for survival, 40 points was not enough to keep the side in the top flight, and they were relegated down to the Championship, where after only 3 seasons, they went down once again to League One, a division they haven't been able to go higher than since 1997. Financial struggles, an endless threat of administration, and 6 managers in 3 years hasn't helped the situation, and it seems highly unlikely that we'll ever see one of the founding clubs back in the Premier League. Number 9, Middlesbrough. Much like Oldham Athletic, Middlesbrough are one of the founding teams of the Premier League, with the side which was gone to boast players like Juninho Paulista and Paul Ince being promoted into the division the season before. However, despite only losing 4 matches between the 1st of September and the 26th of December, they would struggle majorly and lost 8 of their last 9, condemning them to the Championship with a whimper. They've made their way back up to the top flight since, gaining promotion in 1995, 1998 and 2016, but following their relegation after that final promotion, they haven't been able to get back out of the Championship despite reaching the playoffs in 2023 and actually finished last season in 8th place, 4 spots below the previous campaign. Things are looking good for the 2004 League Cup winners with Michael Carrick in charge and terrific players in the rank, so there's no reason to suggest they can't push for promotion once again next season. Number 8, QPR. QPR have had a mixed relationship with the Premier League. On one hand, they've had some amazing players during their time like Julio Cesar, Jibril Cisse, Adel Taarabt, Junior Hoilett, and on the other hand, they had players on excessively high wage contracts who did not want to put the effort in and also had no defensive ability during their relegation campaigns in both 2013 and 2015. Before all the money and poor investments, QPR were a Premier League founding side, being in the division in 1992 and remaining there for 4 years before a 19th place finish sent them back down following the sale of Les Ferdinand, who scored 26 goals the season before. They went as low as League One in 2003-04, but found their way back up to the top flight, gaining promotion for the first time in 2011, at which point the owners decided that money can fix every problem known to man and decided to buy big name players on big money contracts. This resulted in a fractured dressing room, with players treating it as an expensive holiday more than a survival campaign. They were relegated in the 2014-15 season and haven't returned to the league since. Number 7, Barnsley. This is a one and done situation, much to the disappointment of Barnsley fans. It's very much a pub quiz question because they didn't enjoy a memorable time during the 1997-98 season, finishing in 19th place and remaining in the bottom 3 since the 8th game week. They did enjoy FA Cup highs such as beating Bolton, Tottenham and Manchester United before losing to Newcastle in the quarter-finals, but it was little consolation, and following their relegation to the Championship, or Division 1 as it was called back then, they have never been able to finish higher than 4th place in that division and have instead dropped down to League 1, with last season ending with the club in 6th place and with them being expelled from the FA Cup due to feeling an ineligible player. Things haven't looked great for the Tykes, and unless things turn around sooner rather than later, the Premier League will forever remain a distant memory. Number 6, Reading. Reading enjoyed one of the greatest ever post-promotion campaigns ever during the 2006-07 season when they finished in 8th place thanks to goals from the likes of Leroy Lita and Kevin Doyle. This would prove to be a false dawn, however, with the following campaign ending in an 18th place finish for the Royals, and the side not returning to the top flight for another 4 seasons. They did have one more attempt at Premier League status, however, but couldn't gather any real momentum to even attempt survival, ending the season on a measly 28 points and a 19th place finish, sending them back down to the Championship. Since this disappointing season, the side, who went from having players like Adam Lafondra and Gylfi Sigurdsson, ended up struggling in the Championship with players like Andy Carroll, which resulted in them going down to League One, where they ended up in 17th place last season. Number 5, Cardiff City. Back when the Premier League was founded in 1992, Cardiff City were playing in League 2, winning the league title with 83 points and having Phil Stant scoring 18 goals. While they bounced between Leagues 1 and 2 between 1998 and 2001, they did eventually find their way into the Premier League in 2013 under the management of Malky Mackay. However, things wouldn't stay this way forever, and after going through 3 managers that season, including future Man United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Welsh side were relegated in 20th place. They finished 11th, 8th and 12th in the Championship before another Premier League attempt came around in 2018. However, a poor campaign, which included a 5-0 loss to Man City, a 5-1 defeat to Man United and a 5-1 defeat to Watford, meant the Dragons were sent down like an anchor once again, and since this campaign they have remained in the Championship, unable to make their way back up to the top flight, even in a season where Kiefer Moore scored 20 goals. Maybe one day they'll find a way back up, but the 5 seasons since relegation haven't shown many signs of it happening. Number 4, Swansea City. We're staying in Wales for number 4 with Swansea City, the side who only made their Premier League debut in 2011 when the side won the playoffs the season before, after finishing 3rd and beating Nottingham Forest in the semis and Reading in the final. Credit is deserved for the 2013 League Cup winners, as they spent 7 straight seasons in the division rather than bouncing between it and the Championship like a number of other clubs, and in fact they maintained consistent league finishes, with their campaigns ending in 11th, 9th, 12th, 8th, 12th and 15th until their relegation in the 2017-18 campaign, where they finished 18th. Since then, the Swans have finished in the playoff places twice, losing both seasons to Brentford, and although their most recent campaign ended in the 14th place finish, they are by no means a million miles away from the Premier League and possess a squad capable of fighting for higher league positions. Number 3, Wigan Athletic. Since their Premier League relegation in 2013, Wigan Athletic have been relegated or promoted 7 times in 10 seasons. I have seen firmer stats go up and down less than that. During their time in the top flight, the Latics finished runner-up in the League Cup final during the 05-06 season and won the FA Cup in one of the greatest ever finals during their relegation campaign of the 2012-13 season, when they snatched it from the Money Boys Manchester City. However, despite their cup success and having players in their past like Emil Heskey, Amazaki, Charles Nzogbia and Aruna Kone, they were still relegated after losing 20 matches, including 4-0 to Manchester United and 3-0 to Newcastle. Since this, they have had a number of different managers, have been relegated down to League One 3 times and have finished last season in 12th place, slap bang in the middle of the table. The club has been going in a confusing spiral of instability and players coming and going, and up until this changes, we can't see them making a triumphant return to the Premier League anytime soon. Number 2, Hull City. Whenever Hull have been promoted to the top flight, it's always felt like when, not if, they will be relegated. The Tigers gained promotion in 2013 after finishing 2nd in the Championship under Steve Bruce and set about preparing for life in the fast lane, signing the likes of Tom Huddleston from Tottenham and Nikita Jelavic from Everton. They managed to survive their first campaign by the skin of their fur, finishing in 16th place, only 4 points above the drop zone, and also reached the FA Cup final, which actually secured them a shot at European qualification the following season. They didn't make the cut, of course, losing to Lokeren in the qualifying round, and they were also relegated, finishing in 18th place despite even beating Liverpool 1-0 and drawing 0-0 with Manchester United. They returned in 2016 but were relegated once again the next season in 18th place, and following the departures of players like Jarrod Bowen, who finished the club's top scorer 3 times in a row by the way, and Robert Snodgrass, they have been relegated to League One and have struggled at points in the Championship. Things seem positive under Liam Rosenior, but after his sacking, which made no sense by the way, things seem bleak for the once top league side. And number 1, Blackpool. Blackpool had one Premier League season in their history, and it is one of the most memorable campaigns of any relegated side in the league's history. During the 09-10 campaign, Blackpool were always the underdogs under Ian Holloway and managed to finish 6th and win the playoffs in dramatic fashion. They had players on their side who all knew about fight and grit, like Charlie Adam and DJ Campbell, and in their inaugural campaign, they shocked people by picking up results over the likes of Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United and Liverpool twice. However, they were thrashed on multiple occasions, like the 4-0 to Bolton Wanderers, and because of this they narrowly missed out on Premier League survival, missing the safe zone by 1 point and were sent back down to the Championship. Since then, the club have finished as low as 7th in League 2 and have had to fight for promotion twice during their time in the lower leagues. The past 12 months in League 1 under Neil Critchley have been okay, but despite 15 goals from Jordan Rhodes, they missed out on the promotion spot and will spend the 2024-25 season in the 3rd tier of English football, with the Premier League campaign just a distant memory. And that's our list. I don't think there's many that can really be pointed out now, but if you guys want to leave any in the comments, please feel free down below for anyone I've missed. Make sure to hit subscribe. I want to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and I will see you all in the next video.